I read in Fergus Greenwood's book, 180 Degrees, which is available from all good bookshops and talks about the stuff that's going on in the world, an amazing quote. And this was a quote, I forget who it was, perhaps it's anonymous, and that is, "A dictator with no followers is a clown." And I think that's very true, isn't it? Because if you are a wannabe dictator and you don't have anyone following you, you're barking your orders like some demented loon and nobody's paying any attention to you. It's like the teacher trying to tell and quell the class when they're laughing at a good joke and the teacher's there saying, "Now, come on, children, pack it in, sit down and pay attention." And the kids are just laughing at the joke and ignoring this person who's trying to get order and tell them what to do because they're just enjoying the joke. And at that moment, the teacher's lost all his power. And this is something that we should remember. We only give people power if we acquiesce to them, if we agree to them, if we actually hand over our sovereignty, if you like, and say, do you know what, in this instance, yeah, you can tell me what to do, you can govern me, you can boss me about. But if we choose not to acquiesce, if we turn away and we make them irrelevant, they lose all their power. At the moment, we're in a situation in which, well, I think a lot of people are beginning to wake up and say, wait a minute, I can smell that coffee and perhaps that coffee's not the kind of coffee I actually want. Maybe that coffee, i.e. the authorities, the government, the One World government, the WEF, the WHO, those people pushing agendas that we're not actually happy about, maybe they're not for us. And maybe what we need to do is to say, no, actually, thank you very much. Very kind of you to think about us. We used to think that you were kind and benevolent and had our best interest at heart. But now that we've woken up, now that we've seen how you've behaved to us over the last 5-10 years, really, and particularly the last 3 years, and particularly when you've been trying to enforce us to have a certain medical intervention, which turns out, as the science is all coming out now and various reports and anecdotal evidence is there, that actually this wonderful thing that you said was going to be our saviour has actually turned out to be a very big dud. And not only has it been a very big dud and people have been hurt by it, not only that, but also on the back of that and on the process of getting it out, you lot, those people who wanted to be our friends and in power and guide us, those people we thought were servants, have actually made a huge amount of money on it. The amount of wealth that has transferred from those hard-working people who are just trying to make ends meet and just trying to get on and look after their families and just trying to do the best they can for all their loved ones. Yet those people seem to have had all their money extracted out of their livelihoods, and it seems to have gone to those fat cats who've really done very little to help us. Those people who've decided to make rules for themselves, those unelected, unaccountable mob. You know, the people who sort of fly around and say, well, actually, there's one rule for us because we think we're the top cats and we think that you're just the scum of the earth, the useless eaters. Well, I think it's about time the scum of the earth and the useless eaters, to use their phrases, not mine, that us, the real people, the people that actually do things, the people who know things, people who could actually create a better world and can put things together and do stuff. Whereas these other lot, these fat cats, I mean, they don't know how to do anything, do they? All they know is actually if they use their money and pretend that they're clever, they get us to do all the work because they just keep bribing the necessary people. And if they can't bribe them, perhaps they'll blackmail them into doing their stuff. But if we just turn around and say, Do you know what? Sod that. Not going to do it. Not going to do it. Sorry, your days are over. We've seen through the charade. We've pulled back the curtain. You're not this great Wizard of Oz that you pretend to be. You're just some grubby little man behind a curtain, pulling a few levers, desperately trying to make out that you're impressive, when you're just not. And so sorry, you may have bags and bags of money, but you know, life is a lot more than just having bags and bags of money. And those people who think that having bags and bags of money is what life is about are in fact incredibly shallow, because you've no idea what life is really about. You've no idea about love and affection and being kind and being in service to somebody and helping people without thinking that there's a blooming payment involved. No, you've got no concept. You're not really at all spiritual. You have no aesthetics. You have no real purpose in this life other than to sit there and gorge yourself on all sorts of nonsense and make people feel ill and unhappy. Well, we, the real people of this world, who you've thought that you've commanded all this time, we're not having it anymore. No, we're not acquiescing anymore. We're not voting for you. We're not voting for the system. That old way of doing things is not going to work for us anymore. You see, a dictator, as the quote goes, without any followers, is just simply not even a clown, is a sad old git. Basically, ranting and raving in the corner. But you must follow me. Really? We did that once, and look where it got us. No thanks. No, we're not stupid. We gave you the benefit of the doubt, but we ain't doing it anymore. I'm not voting for anyone. I had a thing through on my email this morning, and I do get a lot of emails. And by the way, if you do email me, it does take me a bit of time to get to it. So, you know, please have a bit of patience. But I had this thing about, oh, don't forget to check that you've got on the electoral roll and everything about us is correct. No, thank you. No, thank you. I don't want to be on the electoral roll. I don't want to be part of your system. I'm my own system now. I am my own person, actually. Thank you very much. I'm a living man. I am an expression of whatever the, you know, Gaia, the earth, the world, God, the source. I am a spiritual being having a wonderful human existence. I'm not your slave. No more. I'm out of the system. Goodbye. Thank you very much. It's been very nice having you around. But you are completely and utterly irrelevant, because from now on, us, the real people in charge of this world, the people who care about it and want to make it good for everybody, we're in charge.